Hi. So, following on from the "How Healthy Is Your Board" article or vlog, whichever you've chosen to watch or read, I want to dive into the board competencies. There was the first element of a really healthy board. Now, the board competencies, or the working geniuses, are the brainchild of Patrick Lenciani. Now, I've been fortunate enough over the last 12 months to be working with Patrick and the Kappa Pro team and the table group with regards to, delivering this at board level. And so they focus on 6 key working geniuses, 6 key competencies. Now, that's not necessarily going to be where you would defer to in terms of, if I've got the director of finance, their competencies are quite clearly going to be numbers. Or the chief executive of marketing is quite clearly going to be someone who's creative and a marketer. That's what have elevated your board members to the board. That's what has encouraged you to actually promote them to that position. But rather, what the geniuses work on are the ways in which we turn up around the table. And so the 6 working geniuses of wonder, invention, discernment, galvanization, enablement, and tenacity are essential in order to develop the forward-thinking, future focus of the board, and by virtue of that, creates and develops organizational health, the ability to take ideas and actually then deliver on them. And let's give you a bit of an insight here in terms of what that looks like. And I want to use the analogy of bringing a plane into land. So at the high altitudes, in the blue sky thinking, you've got wonder. So who in your board right now is got that ability to think outside the box, the art of the possible? What can and can't we do? Or what, actually, we don't know if we can or can't do. I just think it's a great idea. Who are those blue sky thinkers? And then actually, who are the innovators? Who are the ones that will take that blue sky thinking and then think, actually, there's the novel idea of actually how we can put this in play and start to look at it in terms of taking it forward. And then you've got discernment, your discerning members, and these will be the ones that will offer evaluation. They will look at actually, does that work? Can it work? Will it work? And they'll ask those questions that often, we tend not to ask ourselves, because that's a great idea, let's just roll with it. But actually, no, we need to make sure that it's a good idea. And they'll bring a level of discernment to the table. And then you've got those who are the galvanizers, and the galvanizers, then they start to rally their troops together. And as you imagine, this plane is slowly coming down in order to land. And so the galvanizers are starting to get people rallied together to come together to make this happen. And then you've got those who are the enablers. They start to encourage action. The landing gear starts to come down. The plane starts to head to the runway. And suddenly we're hit with tenacity. Actually, the tires, you hear that screech as they land, and we're on the runway, and now we're running forward. And it's that action of the tenacious members of your boardroom. Now, when you have this imbalance, you have a board that has got the ability to really take this blue sky thinking to then deliver on it. Here's the challenge. I've worked with a number of boards, and in some instances you will have huge amount of blue sky thinking, invention, maybe even some discernment, but we haven't got the ability then to transfer that blue sky thinking, those great ideas, into action and activity. And as a result, we end up kicking the can down the road. We end up pushing project timelines to the right because we don't have the galvanizers or the enablement or those who are really tenacious about getting it done. And then we might have those who are tenacious and actually we've got this, all right, let's do it, let's do it. But what are we doing? What are we achieving? Now, when we focus a board and we look at the working geniuses of a board, we'll identify who have got those working geniuses in terms of that's actually my genius. If I give you an example, for me as a high performance coach, my working genius is actually innovation and enablement. Now, if you think about that, my idea in terms of actually helping people, create novel ideas, take that blue sky thinking and do something with it. And then I enable and help to get them into action. So when I sit around a boardroom as a board member, that's what I bring to the table. The ability to have a thinking, okay, yeah, that's a great idea. So how do we run with that? And then actually the enablement of, right, so how do we get into action? How are we going to, encourage everybody to get behind this? And then there will be areas where you've got just the competencies, and a couple of areas of the working genius that for you, I can work on these. These are fine. But then your frustrations. What frustrates you? What are the working geniuses that frustrate you? The competencies that you're not very good at. So when we start to measure that across a boardroom, actually what we end up with is an incredible focus on how we can take the board to the next level. Hey, if you'd like more information on this and what else I've written in the How Healthy Is Your Board article, then give us a call, drop us an email. I'll be delighted to have a conversation and take a deeper dive into the working geniuses, the board competencies. Thanks a lot.